What's good? What's happening? Welcome to the King M.E show. I'm one half of this thing, King.
Hey y'all, it's me, Michelle. How y'all doing?
We here at the King M.E show attempt to offer a real outlook on a healthy relationship. Real being relatable,
Entertaining
accountable.
and loving.
If you are new to us, welcome. Michelle and I have been together for just under 4 years here. We are multi-streaming across multiple platforms and in partnerships with a couple of people. So let's talk about those partnerships real quick. One of those is Perry Productions. Shout out to the homie for allowing us to stream on his platform with just under 300,000 followers. That's one. Second thing that we're in partnership with, W.T.F Nation Radio, the world's premier military and veteran source for all things entertainment, sports, pop culture, dating, and relationships. So if you're tuned in to WTF Nation Radio and wondering, who are these two fine faces here? I, King Smith, am a U.S. Air Force veteran. I'm one half of this show. I also host a sports bar on WTF Nation Wednesdays at 8 p.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time Zone. So for those of y'all here on WTF Nation Radio side, after this show, you will get the Monday edition hosted by my main man, Ice, right after we are done live. Michelle, what do you have to add to this whole marketing thing?
So we welcome you. We thank you for joining. As King mentioned, there are so many different shows on WTF Nation Radio, and we're just one of the many shows, and we're just happy to be here. We hope you all are ready. I know you missed us last week, but hey, we're backity back.
What happened last week?
Your defibrillator shot.
Oh, yeah. My defibrillator shot. We talk? Oh, we did. We weren't live.
We made a post about it.
Made a post about it. So, yeah, I got a defibrillator. When this person got with me, one of the things that I told her before her and I started to take it to a different level above a friendship was, are you sure you want to be in a relationship with somebody that has cardiac disease? Didn't hide it. I tell everybody about it up front. And if things were going to get serious, I also wanted her to know like what that meant in totality. That's one of my favorite words.
I know it's one of your favorite words, baby. It's like me and equity. But go ahead.
So with her knowing that in mind, she made the decision to be in a relationship with me. Fast forward, I got a defibrillator implanted. Yeah, installed. One of them. In 2025. Put into
that
me.
sounds good.
Oh, pause. Hold up. Big pause.
My bad. I'm so sorry. I am so sorry.
And my defibrillator shocked me on Mother's Day Sunday, 2 Sundays ago. So we did not have a show as I was coming back from talking to my electrophysiologist to figure out why it shocked me. Your boy's fine. I'm okay. You know, it is what it is. And I'm here. So that's why we didn't have a show last week.
Correct.
All right. Let's see if we got any comments before we go on. Shout out to Paul Bennett, said greetings and gave a high five sign. Shout out to you. Let's see. Pop Culture Warrior said shocking development. Doo-doo. That is horrible. Why?
I thought it was funny.
You know, it was funny actually. Why did the chat not display from our side on the King and Me show? That is weird. I need to fix that.
No, let's go ahead.
I will go ahead. All right. Today's wait, you thought I was gonna mess something up? I messed it up.
I thought it was gonna be a side quest.
It would have been a side quest.
Yeah, that's why I said let's go ahead.
I would have. Yes, it would have been.
It would have been a whole side quest, baby. I love you. I love you.
All right, so we're not gonna be able to display the chat on WTF Nation Radio, but we do see it, and we will acknowledge the chat from WTF Nation Radio, from the King M.E show. I'm sorry, as it comes in. Now, let's see. Today's episode, what we're going to talk about today. It's a twist on a topic that we've already covered. However, there's a trend that is going around called date canceled.
Date canceled, y'all. I've been seeing this pop up everywhere, and I think what stands out to me the most is the fact that people are bragging about canceling dates and canceling plans with people in a time where, very respectfully, not every person's elevator goes all the way to the top.
Mm-hmm.
And you just putting out there that you canceling dates with folk because of one simple human thing happening. And I'm just like, oh, okay. Well, that's quite interesting that you choose to live your life that way.
Are some of these reasons as simple? There are some that have some nuances to it, and I actually have a couple. So I've picked some and cherry picked for the show, whatever. Fight me. Was that I want to display that I want y'all, the viewers, and Michelle, because she hasn't seen the ones that I've picked, to talk about and just kind of work through the psyche of what some of these people are thinking. Because for some, I think they're valid. On others, I'm like, come on now.
Now,
You're doing the most.
I don't know which ones you pulled, but let me tell you the one that first caught my eye to let me know about this whole date cancel thing.
Okay.
The one that I saw was from a woman's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
She said date canceled because his kids have to pack a bag to come to his house.
Yeah.
Was that one of the ones you chose?
No, it's not, but I did see that one.
I saw that and I was like, are you serious with me right now? Like, you canceled a date with a man who's a father because his kids, when they come from their mother's house to his house, they have to carry a bag. And there were so many women in the comment who were agreeing with her, like, oh yeah, that doesn't make sense. Why do they need to carry bags? My kids, when they go over to their dad's house, their dad buys everything and buys two of them. That way there's one at his house and one at my house. And I'm just like, so you're single enough to be dating someone with kids,
mm-hmm.
and you got the audacity to cancel the date just because his kids are choosing to bring a bag? Like, you don't even know what's in the bag. The bag could be containing their favorite stuffed animal, of which there is only one, so they carry it from house to house, but they're super protective of it. And he's just like, oh, well, my kids had to grab their bag. Like, you don't know what's in the bag. You don't know. Their bag could be containing their dinner that they had begun eating, and they want to carry it over to daddy's house. And again, they just felt like putting it in a bag. Like, you don't know what these bags are. You don't know if they're grocery bags or sleeping bags. You don't know what they are.
Let's talk about me for a second. You chose to be in a relationship with somebody who, and I'm going to put all my business on Front Street. I did not have my own place. I had a arrangement with my daughter, who was in primary custody of her mother. Being that I wasn't a fully polished guy in my old age of almost 40 when you and I met, why didn't that throw you off?
Because I wasn't in a much better situation. That, and I don't feel like there's something to judge about that. I think what would have thrown me off, what would have gotten the date canceled, is if you tell me that you have a child and you can't tell me the last time you seen that child. You can't tell me the last time you hung out with that child. You can't tell me that child's birthday. You can't tell me that child's age. You pretty much, left the mother of the child and that child stranded. Like, that would be a red flag. And I'd be like, you know what? I got a little scratch in my throat that's going to be here for the next 30 days. So we just might as well not hang out.
Hey, I'll just wait on date number 31.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, if I hear something that is a big red flag that you're not being a father to your child, because that one that I referenced, Okay, so they carrying a bag. At least they're going to their father's house. Like I don't get it. Nothing is going to make me understand that.
You know, for me, part of the reason why I pulled myself off the dating marketplace, and I've talked about this for those of y'all who aren't new, y'all have heard me say this before. I had no business being out on the dating marketplace shortly after my divorce. I didn't have my own place. Money was funny with a capital F. And I needed to take some time away to really get things figured out and fixed. And when I did do that, I still didn't have my own space, but also fiscally, I didn't need to,
Okay.
but it still is something that knowing that if, like, let's say you and I weren't a thing, I wouldn't advise a man, specifically, I'm talking to the fellas, to put himself out on the marketplace like that because you're starting at a deficit of how people are going to evaluate you, but before they're really given a chance to actually understand or get to know your why. Like I was renting a place for below market rate that I wasn't gonna find anyplace else. Not for the type of place that I was renting at. Somebody could have saw my situation and go, 40 years old, you ain't got your own place, date canceled, and moved on without even really understanding or knowing like, Trick, I'm rich. I just don't need my own place.
I hear what you're saying, and maybe to an extent I could probably understand. But then I go and I look at the fact that I'm like, very respectfully, if you are 40, when we're looking at the fact that the typical age for like marriage, or like when people think, get married, settle down, have a family, they're thinking about in their 20s. So I look at it like if you are in your 40s, you don't really have room to be judging people. And maybe you shouldn't.
She said it. I agree.
I'm just like, all these like little things, like, oh, that gave me the ick, that gave me the ick. And I'm just like, but you're in your 40s, you're in your 50s. At your big grown age, you still getting turned off by like little things. You still expecting Jesus to come walking on water and meet you and take you out somewhere? Like, boo, I'm gonna need you to be realistic. Like, come on.
Shout out to Jake over on Facebook said, I would never cancel on me.
That's my boo. He wouldn't.
All right, let's take a look here as I pull some of these things. Look, I love social media. Social media gives he
about to do something crazy.
Maybe. There's one or two in here I know is gonna have you go, huh?
And I can't see, so it's like you gotta read them to me, or I gotta look at them here on the phone because I can't see over yonder.
All right, let's see if I've done this transition right. See if I can get the first one up on the screen here.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah, even I'm struggling to read that one. So let me lean in. All right. Oh, this is out of turn or out of order. All right. So this lady, and it's probably going to come up later. Let me see if it's next. Okay. Yeah, here it is. I just canceled my first date of 2025 for the funniest reason. A man recently asked me on a date, and I said yes. We started planning, and he was asking to go for drinks. I shared that I'm sober, but could drink a mocktail. He shared that he too is sober and chose a local restaurant. I asked, do you want to grab a mocktail there or dinner? That's when he said the funniest thing to me. He said, Kenya, after 12 dinners over the last 6 weeks at the cost of about $1,500 while trying to meet new people and make new friends, I don't really want to connect with, and I didn't connect with any of them meaningfully. I've decided to change my strategy. Keep it simple moving forward. Do drinks or even coffee, and if we connect, then re-invite for a meal. Seems like a more sensible approach. So you'd understand why I'm inviting you to drinks. What would you do?
This is a very unpopular opinion amongst women, but I am all for a first date only being beverages.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand this whole ideal of we have to go and have a meal. No, let's go have coffee, because the stance that, like, I understand where that guy is coming at it from a fiscal standpoint. I'm coming at it from a practicality standpoint. I don't want to be sitting and sharing a 30, 40, 50-minute meal with you, and I don't like you within the first 10 minutes. At least if it's coffee, I don't have to sit there and be uncomfortable. It can be shorter, it can be brief in nature. And I look at it from that standpoint. I also look at it from, I don't want you thinking I owe you anything.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Um, so I'd rather go somewhere inexpensive where you don't feel like you're investing a lot of your money. I don't feel like I'm investing a lot of my money. Neither of us feel like we're investing a lot of our time. And we can just either enjoy each other's company or not enjoy each other's company, and then make plans for something bigger for a second date.
Well, let's start teaching people that that is an option, because my last landlord, he's not that much older than you and I. Never married, no kids. He wants a wife. Now, I'm going to look at this camera. Let me actually zoom in first.
Zoom in, okay.
I'm going to look at this camera and tell him that he's also, I don't think he's doing the things to put himself in a position to find his wife, but that's a topic for a different live stream. Now, he shared with me a conversation that he had where he met somebody on a dating app because, look, around the DMV area with the commute and people's jobs where they're spending about 3 hours just to get to work, that's time where meeting people face to face or old fashioned just it's just not a thing.
Yeah.
Or it could be, you'd have to really be purposeful to make that a thing. So he shared a conversation with me where he met somebody on an app and he invited them out for coffee. And their words right back to them, it was nice talking to you, but I'm not a let's meet for drinks type of a gal. Now, did she say what she was more, or did she try to say, hey, while I'm not, for drinks, I prefer more maybe something else? Like try to, okay, that's not how I like to be approached, but here is the way I do like it. Nope. She just stopped the conversation.
Blocking your blessings, sis.
And essentially said, if you think that taking me out for coffee on a first date or a first meet is fine, then you're not the one for me. And she blocked him. No. He did get something off, but she didn't respond to that. She just saw it and blocked it.
I feel like you're blocking your blessing when you do that, because you don't know, you could be meeting the greatest man ever. Now, I think I've shared it before. When King and I decided to officially become a couple, I had met someone through Hinge and he wanted to go out to dinner, and I said, "Let's go out for coffee." And I think that's where I lost him. Although he did meet up with me and we did have coffee, he literally never contacted me again. Never. I sent him a message to make sure he had gotten home safely. He never responded. He never contacted me again. I don't care, because I ended up calling you, venting, and then we've been a couple ever since. So I look at it like, hey, he wasn't blocking my blessing. He just moved out the way and allowed space for my blessing to come into school in. And I love that for me. I do. I really, truly do.
I remember that.
And I'm just like, I think some women are so caught up in, like, this is what a date has to look like. I'm worth it. Sis, you are worth it. And because you are worth that big, extravagant, fancy dinner, you should not be wasting it on every single man who offers to take you out. You should reserve that for that special someone. So you meet someone, you go on that initial coffee date, and you're like, you know what? After spending 10 minutes with you, I can really see myself spending another hour. So I'm going to do you a favor and let you take me out to an extravagant dinner.
Thank you. That's the blueprint. That right there works for all parties involved, in my opinion.
All parties. Yes.
Because, like, the guy, right? You know him. I can say this without putting too much of his stuff out there. Guy got his own place. He's handy. Can literally build damn near anything. Own place, car,
literally.
employed, over 6 feet. Again,
over 6 feet, over six figures.
can he cook?
He hasn't starved.
Yes. Will cook. Yes.
He can grill.
Yeah. He can grill.
He can grill.
You know what I'm
He can
saying?
throw down on that grill now.
But yet you just took a guy that's fully employed, hadn't been arrested.
And he ain't got no pitney.
No
like, he ain't got
kids.
no pitney, so he's not paying child support to anyone.
No
He ain't paying
alimony.
no alimony, no college tuitions for nothing. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, women, change your perspective, change your thought process on this. Yes, you want that big, what's an expensive place? Like, you want that Fogo de Chao dinner,
Yeah.
right? I get
Ruth's
it.
Chris.
I understand. Ruth's Chris. You want that. I get it, but you should not be willing to accept that from any and everyone. No, not every single man that you meet is worth that much of your time and your energy. Change your perspective. Stop thinking that I need to give every man this much access to me, and start saying I'm reserving this access for someone else. I will go and I will eat a McDonald's Big Mac and be happy and content with myself before I go and exert energy at Ruth's Chris with some guy who is not worth my time. Go out on that coffee date with him. Go out to that quick drink date with him and find out if he is worth your time. And then, sis, if he is worth your time, then go to Ruth's Chris. Then go to Fogo de Chao. Like, then go out and get all dressed up. You're getting dressed up. Y'all are saying it's costing y'all hundreds of dollars to get dressed up. And all this time, and you're doing it for every single Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes around, devaluing yourself instead of increasing your value by reserving who you let treat you like that. Come on, sis, do better. Do better. It's simple business right there.
Now, the people in the comment section, it was split. It was split 50-50.
Really?
You had, 50-50, almost kind of based off of the genders. Because the ladies,
that doesn't surprise me.
Yep, the ladies were more on the side of, I wouldn't have done it, yada, yada. Guys were more on the side of, well, that's sensible and it makes sense. And I don't see his approach as being bad.
Neither do I.
All right, let's see if I can bring up the next one here.
Let's
make sure I got it in the right order. All right. This person said, y'all out here canceling dates. Meanwhile, I'm just waiting to be asked on one. Now, break that down. Why did I highlight this one? I haven't even got to one where they shared a date counseling story. Y'all canceling dates. Meanwhile, I'm just waiting to be asked on one.
I don't know, because sometimes your mind can go everywhere. Just tell us what you were thinking.
I'm going to highlight the word waiting to be asked.
Oh. Okay.
Why are you out here waiting to be asked on one? Michelle.
I did not raise my hand. Why is he calling on me? Okay. Yes.
Besides our first outing, can you name a time where you asked for my time? Early in our friendship. I can.
I was about to say, didn't I ask all the time?
No.
Oh, I did?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Not, me out?
No, it wasn't me. It wasn't like I was leading that part, but there were times where you asked for my time.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right. But like, that's you wanting to spend time with me.
Yeah. Because I like you.
Because, ding, 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 ding.
I like you. You're cute.
To the one, oh, thank you. To the lady that said, I'm just waiting to be asked on one, you're taking the wrong approach. You should, if you see something that you like, what's the thing they say? If you see something, say something.
So here's the thing. I don't disagree with you.
Okay.
And part of the reason why I don't disagree with you is because if I hadn't said something to you, we wouldn't be here right now.
Correct.
Again, to know our backstory is to know that a mutual friend introduced us and, brought us together at a game night. He was interested. I was interested, but he also wasn't trying to date. So when it was time for me to leave, he did not come outside. Like, he didn't walk me outside or anything like that. So I went outside, and then I called the host, the friend who was introducing us, and I said, "Is King interested?" And then King came out, and then King took the lead with everything else. But had I not asked that question, we wouldn't have been anywhere.
Nope.
So I say all that to say, excuse me, I say all that to say, I think a lot of women are really sitting here trying to live their best, Ruth and Boaz. And I love that for them. Like, I truly do want every woman who believes in the Bible
That's
to
what
get
Paul
their
said.
Boaz. And I can't even see that.
He
So
said,
I just
bust the Ruth move.
Okay, but here's the thing, Paul. And like, Paul, I know you got my back on this. Every woman who believes in the Bible and who believes in Ruth and Boaz, every woman is sitting here waiting for their Boaz. And I really do love that for you. But you have to understand that in order for Ruth to have gotten her Boaz, her mama, we just gonna call her mama, helped her and told her she needed to do something for herself. Boaz did not just come up to Ruth as she was gleaning in the fields and say, "Sis, I'm going to make you mine." No, she had to do something. What she had to do was she had to address him and present herself to him in a sort of way so that he could know that she was interested in him. So in a way, she had to make the first move.
That's what I'm saying.
She had to make the first move. And I say this with all due love and respect because we all love Boaz, right? We're all like, Boaz. And, give me my Boaz. Let me meet my Boaz. Let me meet this man who is going to be my kinsman redeemer, who is going to come and like rescue me so that I'm not out here gleaning in these fields anymore, trying to feed me and my mother-in-law. Like, we all want that man, right? But sis had to put in work. She was told to put in work. Naomi told her to put in work, and she did put in that work. And because she put in that work, Boaz caught her. She caught Boaz's attention, and then Boaz was like, "All right, bet. Hold up. Let me find out if I am the closest kinsman. And if I am the closest kinsman, then yeah, bet I will definitely marry you. I'll definitely take care of you. I'll do what I'm supposed to do under Jewish law. But if there's someone closer, then you should go to be with that person." He found someone closer. That person didn't want to do it. So he stepped up and was like, "Bet I'll do it." But again, Ruth had to approach him. Sis, ladies, please stop thinking that you fitting to meet your Boaz and you ain't doing no work. And by work, I don't mean manipulation. I don't mean taking advantage of. I mean, you need to go out there and you need to, in a respectful way, in a respectable way, like Ruth did, present yourself to this man. And I feel like that's what I did with you, boo. Like, you were just going to sit there if I didn't say something. And that's fine. Okay. So I took my little Ruth stance, held on to all the bits of Naomi within me. And I took my little Ruth stance and I was like, so what's good? What's good? And look, 3.5 years later, almost 4 years, here we are. And we still together.
If you don't get that reference, I don't know if we can hang out. Let's see if we got any comments before we take another approach here. Shout out to FBO Wives. That's a new name. Said hi. That's from YouTube. Hey, what's up, FBO Wives? Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for popping in with us. Paul also said, women read the Bible selectively.
Yeah.
You agree with that? Why? Because I don't understand that.
I'm just going to change it and say people read the Bible selectively. But I will definitely say when it comes to that Ruth and Boaz story, every single woman has read the Ruth and Boaz story. Every single woman has read the Proverbs 31 woman. Oh. Now, mind you, Proverbs 31, the whole, it's a section of it. But anyway, everyone has read about that Proverbs 31 woman, not realizing that it's specifically talking about a man's wife, not just an everyday woman, but like it's a man's wife. We have all read that verse of the Bible that says, "He who finds a wife finds a good thing." And we misinterpret it. Like, we read every single woman has read those verses. and we selectively choose to interpret what they say. But what I need people to realize about Ruth is that she put in work. The whole story of Ruth is about her moving in faith. And y'all sisters will sit at home and do not move at all, whether in faith or out of faith, and then expect Boaz to come knocking at your door. Boaz did not go after Ruth, y'all. Ruth made the first move.
I don't know if this is appropriate.
What's up?
Do you think we could do an episode
Oh, goodness.
of what the Bible got right and wrong about marriage and relationships? I think our audience.
Need to pray about it. I
think our audience on the W.T.F Nation radio side would pull up for that.
Okay.
I think there's enough knowledge here between you and I that we could make it an engaging conversation. I'm not saying we do it, but if the people,
Paul, he's asking you. He's asking you, Paul. That's for you. That's for you, Paul. You can text him later and let him know.
Then let's do it. Holly Leanne said,
"Hey, Holly.
I've never made it past the first page of the Bible."
Oh, goodness.
Hey, Holly.
I swear, I love Holly. I don't know this woman, but like, I just want to pull her in for a hug every time she pulls up. I love her.
So is the first verse in the beginning? Do I have that right? Hey, at least I know that. Let's see what we got here. What's the next thing that we have to highlight here? This one right here. So this is there
I
were
love how you say this one right here. I can't see it.
So there's a couple that I want to get into before we actually had actual ones. I dated before and after social media. It's 100% these phones, too many options. I think that's true, but it's true for women more than it is true for men. There's a content creator out there.
Please.
Okay. Women are more hypergamous than men are.
All right. And for people like me who, we're a little bit slow, hypergamous means?
The way I'm going to explain hypergamy, and there's going to be somebody that corrects me, but the simplest way that I like to tell people about hypergamy is always wanting the next best thing.
Okay.
Not being satisfied with what you have because the next best thing is right there.
Could it be that we just have ADHD and we get distracted?
Do all women have ADHD?
A lot of us
all
do, and
women
we don't get diagnosed. But that's the thing. Like you're saying words like all, and it's not all women.
Seem like a lot.
Have you? But so
have I met all women?
Exactly.
No.
You haven't met all women, so you can't say it's all women. You haven't dated all women or seen every woman date, so you can't say it's all women. You can say that it is the majority of the women that you have dated yourself and or read about in social research.
Yes.
Okay.
But if I were to extrapolate that, it would seem like a good bit of y'all
it's not
out here wanting to get the next best thing.
Most women are living in places where they're not even buying into all that. So it's not all. It's not all.
I do believe that there is a paradox of how that sits on the guy's side as well. For example, there's a very well-known YouTuber out there that is going through it. Abba from Abba and Preach. Abba purported himself to be this virtuous guy. Turns out, because after one came out, you figured that there might be more than one.
Oh, no.
He tried to make a claim that because he went to a doctor and was told that his sperm was low and he may not be able to get people pregnant, he thought he'd never have kids. Well, it turns out, as of today, 3 women have now all came out saying that he skeeted and got them pregnant.
Skeet.
And while he made the claim that he wanted to have kids because he thought all this time he couldn't, none of the women that he impregnated turned around and kept the kid. And I think that says a lot about how they view Abba, this guy who was purporting to be virtuous, who the nature of his channel, they used to do a lot of reaction stuff. Now they do like pop culture commentary where they talk about things that are happening out in popular culture. And one of the things that they would get on their high horse about, and this is, let me pause a second. I try to be authentic. I try to say what you get from us is what you see. Paul had met us first online virtually, and has also met us face to face in person. Um, Same with Paul. Like I knew Paul, virtually, but with Paul, what you see is what you get. This is a man going on season 30 in his marriage with his lovely wife. Hey, Miss Bennett. And the stuff that he talks about on Sparta HQ Network and the Black Man Unfiltered Network, he stands by that. Now with ABBA and what he would talk about, the guy ended up now being exposed as hypocritical. Why am I bringing all of this up? A, ABBA's a pretty popular person. I hope that our clip editor catches this and puts this out there. But B, it goes to the nature of ABBA, because of who he was or is a high profile person. There's some people like, I don't know who ABBA and Preach is. They got 2 point something million followers on YouTube. Their lives have been successfully changed for the positive part as content creators. It is my opinion that those ladies knew what they were getting into with him, that he's no different than the average person, and they changed their standards, allowing him to ski unprotected because of who he is. Mm. And the jacked up part about them exposing him, I wouldn't want to go after that. Like, I wouldn't want to be someone that, oh, like, she looked good, but she had this drama with a very public, well-known person. Yeah, I'm gonna have to pass on that. I think it's bad on them. So social media and these phones, while it is out here giving people all kinds of options, I think that you have what is it called, like the paradox of choice, or I forget like what the term of it is, but because you have so many options, you never really choose any option, and it leads you to where you're getting into your 50s. And for those of y'all that want to find somebody, you don't ever choose because you have all these options.
And that's the point that I think some people really need to take into consideration, men and women.
Worse for women.
Men and women, stop thinking that you have like this infinite amount of choices and that you should just, dilly daddle and take all this time. Years are going to pass you by. You're going to get to the point where the desire that you truly had goes unmet because you kept waiting for this perfect person to pull up. There is no such thing as perfect. There is perfect for you. There's no such thing as perfect.
I'm perfect to me in my own mind.
I know, baby, and I love that about
you. Nice.
No, you're perfect for me, but you're not perfect. I'm not perfect.
Oh yeah, I'll tell people I ain't perfect. I'm perfect in my mind to myself, but I know I'm not perfect.
No, good.
Let's see. Marisha, this side said men in their 30s need to stop dating girls in their early 20s. Like stop. And I still haven't got to a date cancel one yet.
You did one.
But this was the one here. I disagree. Men in their 30s definitely date women in your 20s. As a matter of fact, that should be the preferred route that you should go. Men out here should be looking down in their 20s, reaching back and finding their significant other a few ages apart. I think it's the perfect match. What say you?
I look at it from all sides. I look at it from the one, so there is someone pretty famous in America who or infamous, I guess you could say, who just gave birth to a child, and she and her husband have a 32-year age gap. So someone said that the daughter that she just gave birth to, if the daughter were to marry as the mother married, that somewhere a 32-year-old man was rejoicing because his wife was just born. And I feel like when you look at it like that, it's actually quite disgusting. And as someone like myself who is a survivor of childhood trauma, I look at that and I'm like, that's actually pretty mortifying. Like, that is actually pretty incredibly disgusting. And I don't like age gap relationships for that very reason. When you look at it, like, you were a whole double digit person when your partner was born, I think that's disgusting. Like, you were a person in puberty when your spouse was just born, and I find that repulsive, to say the least. However, I can understand how men would find that attractive because there is such an age gap. There's also going to be a little bit of not Stockholm syndrome, but you're definitely going to get a person who is going to be more submissive and more malleable and willing to bend and mold and fold to whatever you tell them to do and however you lead them to be.
Sounds like a dream.
And I mean, honestly, that's what we saw in a lot of the biblical marriages. That's what we see with Ruth and Boaz. There was an age gap in there. When you do have that age gap, you do get the older man and the younger, more impressionable woman who is willing to do whatever the man says, and they're less likely to stray because they realize what they're coming home to. So, like, I get it from that standpoint, but don't, like, I can't lie and say that the other part about, you were a person in full puberty when your spouse was born. I'm not gonna lie, that's quite disgusting.
Question in the chat from earlier. Do you need a coffee date if you've been kicking it with someone in convo for over an hour?
Yes,
Yes,
because people act different in person.
correct. That was literally word for word what I was going to say.
People act real, real different in person.
Shout out to Super C's in the building.
Hey, Super C.
Paul said that they talked about that last night on their show. I can't date any woman that's under 45. I could. I think, but you know what? I'll put this out there. If I were single, I would go at my current age of almost 42, 20. I'm sorry, 20 years down. So 22
22.
to, I don't see a reason to go past my age.
So,
say it.
The math that I do in my head is like this. When I take the age when I first willingly had sexual intercourse, I cannot date a man who was not already alive at that particular age that I was.
I get
so
that,
that age that I was at that particular time, which ain't nobody else's business, that age, like, if you as a man were not born at that time, like, you weren't already born, then there's no reason. Like, you literally weren't alive when I first started having sex. Like, no, there's no reason we should be together. Absolutely none. Like, when I tell you we ain't got nothing in common, we ain't got nothing in common. You were not alive when I first had sex. No.
Well, I can find things in common. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, for example, I like to get out and do things. Your age doesn't matter for that. If you are somebody that like to get out and do things too, then let's go out and do things. Then after that, we can come back to my place.
I'm sorry, but you literally don't, like, y'all men don't ever sit and think that when you were 20 years old, this person's parents probably weren't even together yet?
No.
That is wild. That is absolutely wild to me. I think about stuff like that all the time, and I'm like, that's disgusting.
There was a clarification. First of all, shout out to Super C's in the building. Appreciate you tuning in. Tarika said, evening, King and Queen. How y'all doing? We're doing fine, Tarika. Thank you for tuning in.
We're doing well.
Paul said, no. I mean, if you've been talking in person for an hour, you can meet them at a bookstore or an event, and you're kicking and the vibe is good. What do you need a coffee date for?
Well, no, in that case, no, that was the first date. Like, respectfully, that was the first date.
So we have our first meet cute type situation where we link up, we've just been chatting. That was an unofficial first
Yeah,
date.
that was an unofficial first date. You don't need another coffee date after that.
I agree.
However, so I agree with you, Paul. No, you don't need another coffee date after that. However, it's not being purported as though that's how people are meeting each other that organically. It seems like people are connecting more either via a third party, one way or the other, whether it's social media or another friend. They're connecting in some third party way, not in person. So they do need like that buffer date. But no, like if I meet you and we're sitting down and we're having coffee and we're kicking it for like an hour or two, or I meet you at a bar and we're conversing and everything seems fine, no, then that was a first date and we can go out and have a meal.
There was somebody at Barnes and Noble, and Barnes and Nobles, Nobles.
I honestly
I don't
don't
know the right
know.
way to saying it.
Yeah, me neither.
The bookstore,
Being in.
and that was a spot that my daughter and I would go to all the time. Well, depending on when you go, you would see kind of some of the same people. And you know me. I'm blind to when people are flirting with me, unless they just flat out say, "I like you. Let's do this again."
I like you. Let's do this again.
There was one particular person on a date that I didn't go with counsel because I was looking for a particular book, and I saw somebody that would normally see us. We ended up chatting it up for about 30, 45 minutes, just talking about life, whatever, things in general, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then she saw me at a different time and asked me out and said, "I thought you were going to ask me out from our last time." And I said, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm, unless you flat out say it, I'm like, I think you're attractive. I'm not dating." She was like, "Oh, okay." Never saw her again any other time after that. She did put herself out there. I don't see, there wasn't anything that was like embarrassing. I forgot about this. There wasn't anything embarrassing
You
about
told me
that.
that.
There wasn't anything embarrassing about that. But just, she shot her shot. I told her what my truth was, which was I wasn't looking for anybody. And after that, I would see her at the bookstore all the time. I never saw her after that. Let's see. So let's get into the next one that we have because man, time flew by. Next one here from the date canceled. I'm 37 with no children, and I'm starting to realize I may need to actually no. I'm gonna skip this one. I'm gonna skip
Well,
this one.
while you're doing that, I want to read what Paul wrote. So you call King and Michelle's meeting a first date? I'd say no. It was the first meeting, but a date has more intention. Our first meeting was a game night. So we had a game night, but we weren't by ourselves. It was a room full of people and we weren't alone. Um, the second thing that we did after that was we spent like an hour on a Google Meet, kind of getting to know each other a little bit. And then we went on our first outing. We don't call it a date because he wasn't interested in dating. So we went on the outing and spent 10 plus hours together between Maryland and DC, and then came back. And then we hung out together every single Thursday for the next 2 months before we became an official couple. And when we became an official couple, the first outing that we went on, that's the first time we called it a date. So our first date was 2 months after we met, 2.5 months after
Mm-hmm.
we had been introduced to one another. All those other things were just two friends hanging out. Um, our first date was October the 20th, 2022.
Date canceled. He told me to meet him there instead of picking me up
You
first.
know what?
Your face said everything. Do y'all think that that was an appropriate reason for canceling a date? Especially in perspective, you got people out here that can't even get one.
I think that is so childish. And here's why.
Why is that?
As a single woman, especially a black woman, Black women encounter a lot of stranger danger and a lot of domestic violence danger. You can just look at the track record for domestic violence issues that have occurred against Black women this year alone in the United States. The amount of women, and I want to say it was more than five, less than 10, who lost their lives or were a victim of some heinous crime this year alone, Black women. And you mean to tell me that a man is trying to help keep you safe and give you a little bit of peace of mind by telling him to meet you somewhere and you want to cancel that date? Nah, sis. Let me tell you, when every date that I was ever about to go on, not only did I run, because we live in Maryland, so I ran an MD court case search on that person to find out if they had a criminal history, but I would get their license plate number and I would text it to my best friends. And I'm like, this is the name of the person that I'm going out with. This is their license plate number. Even though we are riding separately, if I don't text you back by this time, this is the info that you need to be able to go out and, let someone know how to come and find me. I did this with every single guy except for you. With every single guy
I
because
still think I feel some type of way about that. You should have background checked me.
anyway, I knew.
Cause
I know.
mm,
I just knew. And I'm not
mm-mm.
saying that, you couldn't have been a stranger danger alert, and nor am I encouraging any woman
I
to
ain't
do
safe.
that.
Finish your thoughts.
I'm just saying, I knew from the moment I laid eyes on you that A, you were the one, and B, you were safe. You were someone that I could trust my entire being with. I knew that from the day that I met you. I don't care what you thought or what you knew or when you found out that, I was it. But I'm saying I knew from the jump.
There are people that are watching this who are fathers,
Mm-hmm.
fathers of young women.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, what are you telling your daughters as they're going out and meeting folks? I'm real curious because what I have tried to tell my daughter, and I don't know if she's not comfortable having conversations with me or what, but like I would prefer, like, if you are gonna go out, let me know. Like, she's in college right now, but like, just let me know. Let me know something. I'm not trying to police who she's with or anything like that. I just, if something comes up and I'm finding out things all after the fact, there's really not much I can do
Mm-hmm.
if I'm the last to know.
Right.
So for a safety thing, I'll just say, hey, I'm going out with so and so, and this is where I'm going. All right, cool, have fun. That's literally all I'm gonna say.
Super C said, he's right. He's far from safe. Eating fried rice, definitely not safe.
I wish I had the soundboard going. We got Holly Leanne in the building. Said, I can't see because of this comment that's over the way.
It's
I hate
something that
YouTube
I laughed at
sometimes.
already.
Okay.
She had said earlier, I'll wait until all the estrogen is out of the drinking water.
Thank you, thank you. All right, we got
A couple more
a
minutes.
couple of more minutes to get through one or two here.
But I sincerely say, look at it from a safety point, ladies. It is safer for you to meet your date somewhere so that you can go home alive than, an alternative. Like, please think about it from a safety standpoint. Stop being bougie. Look at it from a safety standpoint.
All right, so on the screen here, I'm going to read this one out because it's small, and I'm going to do this as quick as I can. This will likely be the last one. Blocked him because he canceled our movie date to spend time with his mom on Mother's Day. And then there's a lot of stuff that's like garbled up. So he writes at 4:06, today is not the best day, to be honest, and it looks like they were trying to plan out a movie at a Regal theater. And then he follows it up with and says, it's Mother's Day. I'm going to head over to my parents' place to spend time with my mom. She says, I wish you well. Take care. Gives a heart emoji and then a balloon with the thumbtack next to it. And I'm just like, well, that's harsh.
All right, the last part was harsh, but I don't disagree with it.
Okay. But then this next one, where it then kind of shows why she canceled, the garbled message gives her explanation. She said, one, he didn't decide to go until 4 p.m.
Mhm.
2, the movie started at 10:45.
Mhm.
3, he offered no follow-up plan, just a cancellation. On one hand, I can see her perspective.
No, I 100% agree with her. The only thing I disagree with is the pop balloon at the bottom. Like, I understand what that reference is. You ain't got to be, you don't have to react like that.
That was extra.
It was
in my
extra. Like,
opinion.
that part wasn't needed. But everything else, 100%. Like, first of all, I need you to respect me and my time, and I need you to not make a date the day of and assume that, like, that is okay.
Like, that's all you got going on.
Right.
It's nothing.
And then
so.
you make a 10:45 movie plan, baby. Let me tell you, I done took my even medication. The bra is off. Like, we're not doing this. That is booty call hours. That is booty call hours. And you are not going to try to take me out to a 2-hour movie during booty call hours and think that it's okay. And then, respectfully, 10:45 at night, you still up your mama house? Nah, honey, you at your baby mama house. And, like, that's not okay. Like, that's
Good
not
catch.
okay. That's not okay.
We got time for one more here. This one says, date canceled on me on Thursday. That's cool. It happens. Got a text yesterday morning. Aren't you going to ask why I canceled? To which I said, nope. You can tell me if you want, but I don't think it's my business. Cool. We chatted throughout the day. It seemed fine. I ended the chat before my tournament, then went home and slept. About 90 minutes ago at 3:30 in the morning, I wake up to several texts. In summary, it's not working out because I wasn't bothered by her canceling the date. I've only known her for 5 days. Brother, you saved yourself a headache times 10 with whoever that young woman was. That's really all I got to say on that.
Sis, y'all got to do better. Like, y'all really, really, really have to do better. A man doesn't owe you an explanation.
Agreed. Like, you weren't owed that explanation. Last one. Date canceled because he said females.
I ain't gonna disagree. First of all,
Ain't
female refers to a gender, and it's not something that you use specifically when you should be using the big grown word of woman, women. Like, use that. Start incorporating that into your vocabulary, men. I am a woman. My gender is female. I am a cisgendered woman. That means I was born a woman. I express myself as a woman. I view myself as a woman. I am cisgendered, but I am a woman, okay? You are a man. You are a cisgendered man. You were born a man. You carry yourself as a man. Your gender expression is that of a man. Gender, male, female, or non-binary. But you are a woman, a man, or wherever you believe you are on that spectrum. But y'all, stop saying females, because we don't be out here saying males. No, we say men. We call y'all what you are.
I got 2 quick slides because I want to get these last 2 off. This one, we won't have anything real say on it. Men are simple. They just want respect. Yep. Love. Affection. Okay. And a sprinkle of shutting up. Heavy on the sprinkle of shutting up. Last one here, and this will be a question, and we're literally going to end on this question. It says men only. When something goes wrong, why shutting down your first response instead of talking and figuring it out? That's our live stream for today, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you.
Be sure to come back here on W.T.F Nation Radio to check out ICE on the aptly called Monday edition. Go to thekingandmeshow.com, sign up for our newsletter as we're about to announce what our next giveaway is. I love y'all. We out. Love you, baby.
Love you.
Peace.
Bye.